I will warn you, it's not going to be pretty at the end of your reverse diet or throughout your reverse diet. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a very long time since I've been on here, but I'm very excited to be back, give you guys some extra knowledge to help you along on your fitness journeys. If you guys don't follow me already, my name is Kelly. I have an Instagram, kellynicolefit, where I post a lot of helpful information about nutrition and fitness. I want to come on YouTube a little bit more to help you guys in a little bit of a longer form, educate you more, and really help you on your fitness journey. So today we're going to be talking about reverse dieting. It's something that I talk about a lot. If you don't know what reverse dieting is, I do have a ton of YouTube videos about reverse dieting, so you can go poke around there. But I will be talking today more specifically about the mistakes that people make when they are reverse dieting. And I see these mistakes a lot, and if you do make these mistakes, I will warn you, it's not going to be pretty at the end of your reverse diet or throughout your reverse diet. And honestly, number 5, you guys, it's going to be the most common one and the one that really hinders your progress a lot with a reverse diet, so you want to stay put for that. So let's get into it. First mistake that I see pretty frequently with reverse dieting is not having a goal. So if you go into a reverse diet, obviously your goal is to increase your calories a little bit, right? That's a little bit vague. We want to have a little bit more of a specific goal so we know exactly when to stop reverse dieting and when to move on to something else, like going into a cut or just staying at a maintenance level of calories. So there's a couple different reasons why you want to go through a reverse diet. First reason might just be that you want to maintain your results from your deficit. If that's the case, you might not be trying to push your calories as high as possible. You just simply want to maintain those results, get to a better intake where you can maintain it, enjoy yourself, have fun, eat fun food, all that stuff, be energized, have good workouts, all of that, without getting really, really high in calories. Or you might want to reverse diet to get into a bulk, to bring your calories up into a place where you're more in a surplus, you're adding muscle, you're probably going to gain a little bit of fat at that point, but you're trying to get your calories as high as possible without gaining unnecessary body fat. So you will gain some body fat in that kind of scenario, but you won't gain unnecessary body fat. There's obviously other reasons as well. Let's say you are eating very low calories right now. You're not necessarily in a cut, but your calories are just super, super low, but you want to get them to a good point so that you can start a cut in a very sustainable fashion. That's a different scenario as well. So you just want to be very clear about what your goal is so you know when to stop the reverse diet. The second mistake that I see with reverse dieting is comparing your ending calories, or where you're going to end your calories, to what your favorite influencer or favorite fitness person is doing. So I see this a lot of time with girls who come to me for coaching. We get on a call, we talk about how things are going, and they're saying that they tried to get their calories up to like 2,800 because they saw so-and-so on Instagram did that. And this girl is, nowhere near where that girl is in terms of body composition. So she has less muscle, she has more body fat, maybe she's shorter as well. There's a lot of different factors that go into where you're gonna end your reverse diet. And just because somebody on Instagram got their calories up to 2,600 or 2,700 or 2,500 even, doesn't mean that you have to, or necessarily that you should go that high in calories. Calories are very specific to each individual person and also to what's going on in that person's life as well. If somebody is really stressed, like I have previously gone through reverse diets where I only got up to 2,600 calories and I was adding on fat nonstop because I was so stressed out outside of fitness, just stressed mentally with a lot of things going on emotionally, and that inhibited the amount of calories that I could add on through my reverse diet. Versus this past year when I reverse dieted, I got up to 2,900 calories, was adding on a little bit of fat, and the scale was going up a little bit, but nowhere near as fast or as much fat as I had previously added on from going up to 2,600 calories, because this past year I was less stressed. I wasn't as mentally stressed, I was not as emotionally stressed. My life in general was just less stressful. So since my stress was a lot lower, I was able to get my calories a lot higher. So even person to person, don't compare your current reverse to past reverses you've done. You might not be able to get your calories as high as last time, or maybe you can get your calories higher. Either way, just try to focus on who you are now, where you are now, and listening to your body and your progress. Don't try to force things because you saw your favorite influencer doing that. Third biggest mistake that I see people make is not listening to biofeedback. Biofeedback is essentially just our bodies talking to ourselves. We get hunger cues sometimes we get like headaches, sometimes we feel bloated digestively. All of these symptoms are our body trying to tell us that something is wrong. So we want to listen to that. So biofeedback, the main markers that you're going to want to look after are your stress levels, your sleep, your energy, your hunger, digestion and your recovery in the gym. So what a lot of people do in a reverse diet is just focus on the quantitative measurements that they can use, like weight, like progress in the gym in terms of how much you're lifting, like measurements, your body measurements, your waist and your hips, and they forget to look at these qualitative measurements like stress, sleep, energy, everything I just said. The reason that these things are important is because it helps us kind of understand where our body's at in terms of, are we in a deficit, are we in a surplus, are we at a maintenance level, and also when to stop reverse dieting. Because if you're continuously adding calories and you're starting to feel great from your deficit, maybe in your deficit you were really low energy, you weren't sleeping great, your stress was really high, your digestion was shit, but as you slowly start adding calories back in, you're starting to feel a lot better, you're starting to feel more energized, you're starting to feel maybe a little bit extra hungry, which is actually a good sign, your digestion's improving, your sleep's improving, all of that is great. But if you continue to push the reverse more and more and more, and you're getting to a point now where your digestion's slowly going to crap, your sleep is not that great, your recovery from the gym isn't great, or maybe your performance isn't great, or maybe you're constantly stressed, or whatever. If these biofeedback markers are kind of going the opposite direction again as you're adding in more and more food, then that is also a sign that you are getting a little bit too far high in calories, or that there's something else that you need to look at before you continue to push your calories. For example, with digestion, you might notice that you are constantly bloated now that you've gone a little bit higher in calories. That might not necessarily be because the calories are too high for you. It could just be that you're eating too much fiber now that your calories are higher, or you're eating too much sodium now that your calories are higher, or you're not eating enough sodium, or not eating enough fiber, whatever the case may be. There might be something else going on besides just the fact that your calories are too high. But all of these factors you want to look at, you really want to ask yourself how you're feeling on all fronts, so that you can make sure, first of all, you've gotten high enough in calories, and second of all, you're not going too high in calories. And to make sure that, if something is off, like I said, you get that under control before you continue to increase calories. Fourth mistake that I see people make is adding down calories too fast. So reverse dieting is a very unique kind of method to use to get back to a place where you're going to be comfortable with your intake, or get higher in your intake in general. Now, the thing with reverse dieting, I've said it many times before, but it's a very person-to-person thing, individual thing. How I increase my calories is not going to be the same as how I increase my client's calories, or another client's calories, or another client's. Some people can add 100 calories every week. Other people might not be able to go that fast with a reverse diet. They might only be able to go 50 calories every 2 weeks, or maybe 50 calories every 3 weeks. Overall, you really want to wait for your body to adapt and adjust to each new increase before you continue to increase. If your scale is still up and down with the new increase you've done, wait it out a little bit. Give yourself another week. See that the scale just kind of levels out and then increase again. If the scale is constantly doing the up and down thing, and you're just constantly increasing calories anyway, you might get to a point where your body wasn't able to adjust to the previous increase in intake, and now you've increased it again, so you might potentially gain unnecessary body fat, which we obviously don't want. So you don't want to necessarily go super slow with your reverse either. You don't want to be waiting like a whole month to increase 50 calories, but you do want to give yourself some time and your body some time to adjust and adapt to that intake before you continue to increase. Fifth mistake that I see the most, and this is the most common and the most detrimental for your progress in a reverse, self-sabotaging. I see this all the time, you guys. You finally got enough courage to increase your calories. Calories went up, but now the scale went up a little bit as well. You freak out, you drop your calories back down. I see this happen all the time, and you guys, this is not what you want to do. Reverse dieting is so beneficial for so many people, and it's just a great way to get your body into a much happier state so that it will actually respond the way you want it to. Because if you continue to just bring your calories down and bring them back to a very low intake, there's a lot of functions in your body that are not going to be happy about that. Your hormones are not going to be happy about that. Your digestion's not going to be happy about that. There's a lot of different things that you don't want to make unhappy by going back down to lower calories. The scale will fluctuate. You probably will see a higher weight on the scale than you probably have in a long time when you start to reverse diet. I was at about 126 pounds at the end of my deficit, and through my reverse diet, it went down a little bit more, down to like 123, 124, and since then it started to go up a little bit and fluctuate up and down, which is normal. Like I said, yes, some people will lose weight on a reverse diet, not everyone does, and you can't expect that to happen with every single increase. At some point you'll get to a point where the scale no longer goes down and it's starting to do that fluctuating, maybe going up a little bit, down a little bit. Now, the biggest thing you have to remember, if this is something that you struggle with, is that just because the scale goes up a little bit doesn't mean that you gained body fat. This is something that's very important to understand, because when you're eating more carbs, which naturally will happen as you're reverse dieting and have more calories, you're going to hold on to more water. So calories go up, you're eating more carbs, you're holding on to more water. Because of that, the scale might fluctuate up and down as well, because now you're holding on to more water, like I said. So water weighs something, and that may happen as well. Also, you could be eating more sodium with your higher calories, which can also impact the scale as well. And then other factors like maybe you're having better workouts, so your recovery, the inflammation from your workouts is going to take a bigger toll on your weight as well. So try not to get so focused on the scale. Try to remember that you're looking at the trend, you're not looking at the each weight fluctuation. And if you do get to a point where you're consistently seeing the scale go up and up and up and up, maybe then there's something else going on that you can talk about and try to figure out. But as long as it's just a fluctuation here and there, going up and coming back down, it's nothing to worry about, and you should still continue to reverse diet. But like I said in the beginning, make sure you have a goal in mind so you know when to stop, which I can talk about in another video. But I hope you guys liked this video. I hope this helped you guys out. If you're looking for help in your reverse diet and your fitness journey, I have the link to apply for one-on-one coaching with our KNFIT fam team down below in